A warm welcome to Ralph.
Oh, shucks, thank you. My name's Ralph Crewe, and I'm going to stall for a moment while my lovely assistant Ryan. Can we give Ryan a round of applause? He's the best. But I'm a local nerd. Rory found me a while ago nerding around in the streets and got me involved in Nerd Nite. Those of you who've been coming to Nerd Nite for a while might actually recognize me. I did the Bullshit in Space Nerd Talk, which was, I worked for 10 years at a planetarium and observatory. So at that time I met a lot of folks who had a few misguided ideas about how the universe works, and that was all about that. In the meantime, I've also leveled up nerding and now work at a software company. Anyone else out there? Yeah. By the way, we are seriously recruiting. If you're a senior level software engineer, please find me after the show. It's a lovely company with great benefits and flexible hours. You'll love it. That's not even a joke, really though. But before I was a software nerd and before I was a space nerd and the other flavors of nerdery that I get into, I was a music nerd. I actually moved to the United States from Canada when I was a kid, following my father who played with the Pittsburgh Symphony here. So, any symphony fans out there? Yeah! And I've been a musician my whole life. And for some reason, when I was about 13, I decided to start playing the electric bass guitar. So I thought to kick off Nerd Nite bass, I would show you a little bit about the bass guitar. Ryan, how's it going? That's a very good sign. So this evening's lecture is titled "The Electric Bass Guitar in Baroque Saxony and Ensuing Milieus." I hope you'll enjoy it. So really the crux of the talk here is this question, which is a question that I've asked myself many times, especially right before I walked on stage tonight. And luckily it has been answered. Good night. The electric bass is cool as shit. Most people probably have a more intimate relationship with it than they even realize. So much of the music that we listen to has the bass, and especially the bass guitar, at its core. So I'm going to go through a couple of nerdy, bassy things. I hope you guys will enjoy it. The first one has to do with that whole Baroque Saxony thing. You may recognize this guy, Johann. He was pretty cool. He's really famous for for a lot of things, but a group of pieces called the Cello Suites. Some of you may have heard of the Cello Suites, but there's actually a rumor going on out there that the Bach Cello Suites were originally written for the electric bass guitar. And so, it is with great anxiety that I attempt to prove that may or may not have been the case. We good? 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Thank you. I have no idea how that proves anything, but it's actually, if you're learning the bass, it's a very good exercise. Also, special thanks to Abby Lannon for lending me her iPad with the chart on it when I forgot my book at home today. So thank you, Abby. So, what's the deal with slap bass? Every time I tell someone who I don't know well already that I play the bass, they're like, oh, slapping the bass. But what are they talking about, right? I don't just like hit the bass. There's a technique called slap. It is a right hand technique. You'll notice these are all right hands. I don't know where they're from. So anyway, I thought I'd demonstrate a quick, so unlike what I was just playing, which is what's called fingerstyle, I use my fingers to slap the bass. You slap the bass with your thumb, and then you'll actually usually tend to pop the strings as well. So I'll give you a quick demonstration.
Bring Socrates to the stage.
All right. So that is an example of one way you can slap the bass. It's a lot of fun to play it, and perhaps the most famous slap bass guitar line out there comes from a well-known sitcom from the 1990s. Yes. That's right, but there's a controversy around this slap bass line though. Right? Turns out, that wasn't a bass at all. Yeah, no, for real though, the music in actual so it's the Seinfeld theme song, famous for being mostly slap bass, that's just a keyboard. It's a dude with a keyboard. Yeah. I'm boo. Boo. Taking gigs away from us hardworking bass players. Actually, it's super impressive. He did everything. He redid the theme song for every single episode of the show, too. He didn't just do it once. Every episode had its own music. But it's not real slap bass. But the real reason I bring that up is because of a joke that my wife and I found together years ago involving Richard Strauss. Any Strauss heads out there? I have people who I know are Strauss heads who are like dead silent right now. They're like, no, I'm not gonna. So he wrote a famous piece called Ein Heldenleben, and she forever has, my wife, who's not even here, she's straight up in Florida. She's like, it's too cold. We came up with this idea called Seinfeldenleben, which is a deep cut for only a certain flavor of nerd. And now I'm going to very gently attempt a brief excerpt from what I think Seinfeldenleben might sound like. Shit. All right, that's it. That's all you got. Seinfeld and Laban, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so now we come to the actual meat and potatoes of this evening. So the real reason why I hired the brilliant Ryan, who really is a fantastic drummer. If you need a drummer, call Ryan. And if you need a new job in software consulting services, call me. Seriously. But Ryan and I put together a medley, and I'd like to challenge you guys. So up here is the handle of my borderline defunct, but super cool and nerdy YouTube channel called Isn't That Something? Which is not actually based in the bass at all, but it is nerdy, and it is a way for you to contact me without me giving you my phone number, which seems weird, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna play a medley, just bass and drums, and also a little glockenspiel. He's been known to rock out with his Glock out. Sorry, I apologize. My ancestors weep at that one. So we're gonna play a medley of a bunch of bass songs that you should probably recognize. And the idea is that we wanna sort of underscore that the bass plays a bigger role in your life than you probably think it does. And the challenge is, see if you can identify as many of these songs as possible. And then if you get together a good list, and I would encourage you to start writing the list down as we're going, because it's gonna be a couple of songs. The person who sends me the best list, and I'll just judge that, because I'm a judgy guy, but we'll get a free beer from me as soon as I get off the stage. So, good luck. That's for us. All right, you know what to do. Oh no, my listening card. Drum solo for a moment while I get my phone unlocked and show me what's left on the list. Rory has to come up here and kick me off the stage now. Thank you so much.